Without further ado, I would like to welcome everyone to today's webinar. It is Break It with Brandon, and it is live. The fun of doing things live, right? It's fantastic. So we're bringing Break It with Brandon series live with you to do our best to engage with you on the parts and the strength tests. So my name is Tristan Butler. I am, in addition to being your host today, I'm with the Hawkridge Systems and Additive Manufacturing Sales team here in the Pacific Northwest, with Hawkridge Systems. And joining me today, as you can see, we have Kevin Smith. He is an applications engineer from Markforged, joining us from Michigan. And we have Brandon Adkins, who's a applications engineer from Hawkridge Systems here as well. And just a real quick breakdown of the agenda. We're just going to do a quick kind of review of who we are, Markforged and Hawkridge Systems. And then we're going to get into a little bit what is the digital forge. Kind of new term, but something that is really relevant for what's going on today. We're going to do a quick printer overview and material overview, look into the Eiger software, and then we'll get into the fun stuff, the break it challenges. All right. So real quick, Hawkridge Systems, for you who don't know, for you who are new to us, we've been providing engineering and manufacturing solutions to North America for over 20 years. As you can see, we have 22 offices and digital manufacturing labs across the country, spanning all the way from California into Canada and to Michigan and Ohio. In addition to products and services, we partner with, as you can see, the leading providers of engineering, manufacturing, 3D printing, post-processing. So, this is just a quick overview of Hawkridge, and right, I appreciate that. So let's get to our topic today. And with that, I will send it over to Kevin. Kevin, take it away. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Tristan. Thanks for having us. As always, pleasure working with Hawkridge Systems. They are one of our numerous partners that we work with at Markforged. If it weren't for our partners like Hawkridge, we wouldn't be who we are today. So let's talk a little bit about the digital forge. What is the digital forge? Well, it's definitely it's a new name that we've been using lately, and it encompasses our entire platform. So Markforged is not just 3D printers. We also offer software and industrial 3D printers and materials. So the idea here is that Markforged is an all-encompassing manufacturing solution that is comprised of these three different tiers of things. Software, enterprise software, controlling all of the hardware and the prints. So all your devices are underneath of that enterprise software suite. And then we also have the industrial printers, whether we're looking at composite printers or metal printers, we offer those. And then the materials that are being printed on those printers are also part of this digital forge solution. And once again, just like when we're talking about Markforged, we're talking about a big picture change in what's going to happen with you at your facility when you start using Markforged. The same thing here is we're not just focused on one aspect, we're focused on the big picture at Markforged. So we take everything into consideration. That's why we have this fully encompassed suite of tools so that we have the best solution when it comes to industrial 3D printing. Yeah, and just to kind of back that up, here's a slide with pictures of some of our systems here. So we have the X7 on the left there. Maybe you're right, I don't know, probably you're left. But either way, the X7 is our top of the line industrial printer. It does print in multiple materials. The way that the composite printers work, we have both plastics and we have fibers being printed on those. I'll let Brandon cover that in a little bit here too. And then the Metalex system is a 3-piece system that is comprised of the Metalex printer, your wash station, and your sinter oven. And Brandon will get a little bit more in depth into that as well. We kind of figured, hey, since Brandon is in the digital lab right there, why don't we have him actually present the printers to you firsthand. So without further ado, Brandon, could you please take it away for us?
You bet. Thank you so much, Kevin. Now you're going to have me thinking too much about the whole left and right thing. But yeah, exactly. You know, perfect opportunity for you guys to take a little bit of a virtual tour with me. Before we actually get into my favorite part, if you guys have seen our YouTube series, Break It with Brandon, I like to try and break some of these parts that we produce with the Markforged printers. So we're going to have some fun with that later. But I guess welcome to the Digital Manufacturing Lab here in Post Falls, Idaho for Hawkridge Systems. We've got a ton of additive technology available here for you guys to look at sample parts and what these machines actually look like. So we'll focus on some of the industrial technology from Markforged here first. So on my right-hand side, you can see the X7 that Kevin pointed out on the previous slides. Dealing with these composite solutions, you're going to have a multitude of materials you can choose from, which you've seen in the YouTube series, and we're going to talk a little bit about later why you would choose some of those different composite methods. But the X7 is going to give you your broadest range of all the Markforged material capabilities when it comes to composites. So you can use the different resin types. So with your filament, you're able to take advantage of the onyx material as well as the nylon white. But more specifically, when it comes to reinforcement, you've got all of the capabilities there at your fingertips. So if you want to reinforce your parts with continuous carbon fiber or Kevlar, fiberglass, high strength, high temp fiberglass, those solutions are all available to you with the X7 Industrial Series. Not only that, but you're going to get some very intelligent automation built into this as well. So for example, if you want to go as hands-off as possible, allow this system to take laser measurements to help you with bed leveling, things of that nature. It's really a great approach to help you with this hands-off, lights-out additive manufacturing. So you've got all of your bed space available there too. Now, if you're looking for something a bit more compact, but still all of your material capabilities available, that's where you might think about the desktop series. So more specifically, here in the showroom, we've got the pinnacle of the desktop series from Markforged, and that is the Mark II. All of your material capabilities are still there and available to you in a more compact format. So any engineer could have this on their desk, and if they want to reinforce with carbon fiber and Kevlar and use onyx or nylon, you can still do that, but really purpose built for some of those smaller projects that you might have. Little R&D projects, maybe some end of arm tooling, things of that nature that are a little bit smaller scale. So that covers the composite side of things. More specifically for this webinar, we're going to focus primarily on composites when we get into breaking some of these parts. But as you've seen us do in some of the other video series, we do have metal capabilities available as well with Markforged. So when we really want to implement this system to help us print with stainless steel or Inconel, copper, a variety of different materials, we have very similar technology available here. It's going to use a pretty similar process to what I would typically use with one of these industrial or desktop series where I'm depositing material onto a bed, right? The difference here with the Metal X is that material that we're using, it comes in a filament form, but it's actually powdered metal that's bound in a polymer. So when we deposit that material onto the bed, we come out with a part that we're going to need to take some additional steps with. So if you come by the showroom, we've got some examples of this. When we take a part off of the Metal X printer, it's referred to as what we call a green part. And to get to a fully finished metal state, we're going to go to those additional stages, which include the wash system. Like you saw on Kevin's slide previously, we're going to wash some of that polymer binder away. And then the final step, of course, is the sinter oven, which is going to get us to our final 3D printed metal part, similar to what you see here. So some great examples to take a look at. There's kind of a quick little virtual tour for you guys, but if you're ever in the neighborhood here in Post Falls, you want to schedule an appointment to take a look around the Digital Manufacturing Lab, we would love to show you all the capabilities and talk more about it. But that's a quick run through. Now we're going to get into breaking some parts here in a little bit, so I think we'll take that job outside and we'll see what we've got to get into here. Kevin's going to talk a little bit more about material capabilities, so I'll pass it back to him and then we'll get into breaking some stuff.
Great job, Brandon. That was a wonderful overview of the Markforged technology. Just one more thing to touch on as far as the materials go. Where Markforged started was the development of being able to print continuous fibers within our plastic matrix materials. So as we look at the industrial materials slide here, the materials we have right now are onyx, nylon white. Those are our base materials. And then we've taken it one step further, and we now have an onyx FR flame retardant, and it's a UL 94 rated V0. And then we also have onyx ESD. So those two are additional onyx type materials that have some additional benefits for you. And once again, being able to interlay continuous fibers into the print enhances the strength by major multipliers. So we're not talking about being able to just print plastic parts. We're talking about being able to print parts that are as strong as aluminum. That was really the key of Markforged starting out. Then as time went on, we developed the MetalX system, and that came out in 2018. I'm going to have a timeline slide that I'll share with you guys here in a minute, but yeah, so we've got numerous different models of metals that are available, and these metals came out over a period of time, starting with 17.4 stainless steel, and ending up with the latest one, copper, which was just released not too long ago. But that's our suite of industrial materials available to you with the Markforged platform. Let's see here. And yeah, let's take a look at the software now. So this is a little overview of our software called Eiger. This is the software that controls the platform. And it is a cloud-based software, cloud first. We do have standalone Eiger software for DoD style, I guess, companies, if you will. If you need to have your files highly controlled, then we do have available software for that as well. But the idea of being able to go cloud is great because all the parts are digitally up in the cloud. So you can easily access those. It's a digital library versus having physical parts on your computer. So that's the really nice thing about, one of the nice things about the cloud connectivity. But the Eiger software is you bring in an STL file, you what we call slice it, or if you're maybe more familiar with CAM software, we tool path it, and then we send it to the printer. But the Eiger software does show all of your devices. So if you have an organization with multiple devices, you can see all those devices on there. And you can run this through a web browser, which makes it really easy to use. Since it is cloud-based, that would be another thing that's great, is it's not using your CPU, your GPU, it's using the web for the processing. So that's the Eiger solution right there. Let's take a little bit further of a look at how this actually works, this cloud solution, because a lot of people get hung up on this whole cloud database solution. But the one thing that it's unlocked for a lot of our, whoops, we jumped ahead one slide. The one thing that's really unlocked for the majority of our customers is the ability to print things from anywhere in the world. So we actually did a webinar not too long ago where my counterpart down in Brazil kicked off a print on my printer right here in Detroit. So thinking cloud-wise, we're able to execute things via the cloud instantaneously because of the access through the internet. So we can, once again, instantly trigger remote prints anywhere, any location. The STLs upload to the cloud. So your data is stored up in the cloud securely. And just to further add to that security thing, we do actually have at the bottom here unparalleled security. We are ISO 27001 certified, the only platform with that certification level for security when it comes to cloud services. So please keep that in mind when you're thinking about your concerns of the cloud. They shouldn't be there anymore just because of the fact that things are so highly secure anymore. So part management, version control, the fleet management. So if you've got, like I said earlier, you got 20, 30 printers. A lot of people are doing print farms now, running tons of parts all the time. That fleet management is all done under that Eiger software. You can literally see all your devices lined up. You can click on those devices and you can see what they're doing, when they're doing it, how much material's on each device. You can even go further than that and determine how much material has been used on each device over a specific period of time. We have graphs, charts, all that in the software. So yeah, keep in mind the immediacy of printing something from anywhere in the world. You need it, you grab it from the digital library, you print it. That digital inventory, the organization level. We're going to actually have some enterprise level stuff rolling out here really soon that's going to be able to give you some added features that if you're a large organization and you want to have more control, we're going to have a lot more control than we do now. But if you're just a simple user, it's as simple as going to your Google Chrome browser, typing in eiger.io and getting started right there and printing to your printer. It's really easy. So with that being said, that is the cloud solution architecture for Markforged. Let's go ahead. Yeah, so learning and getting smarter every day. The one thing that is really cool about the industrial model printers, the X3, X5, X7, is they have onboard lasers. So we can actually calibrate the machine with that laser. In other words, we're going to scan that print bed before we get started, make sure the print bed is known where the level is, and that way we can print that first layer, like Brandon said, perfect every single time, so that our build comes out right. But what you can do further with that is you can actually scan the part as it's moving along through the print process. So you can see if there's any deviations in the part as you go with that laser micrometer. And it's over-engineered. It's a 1 micron laser micrometer on that printer. So really cool stuff. And just to kind of go further into the learning and getting smarter every day, we've learned a lot. Our customers feedback to us all the time. One thing great about having like 12,000 deployed units or 12,000 customers is that we get a lot of feedback and we continue to build and integrate new things. So we started out with the Onyx and the fibers, and we moved on to the Metal X system, but this is kind of just a timeline real quick here of things that we've done over time. Markforged is at the forefront of technology when it comes to 3D printing. So yeah, please keep us in mind when you're thinking about your 3D printing needs. And remember, once again, Markforged platform is great for anything that you need to do for 3D printing. With that being said, that's conclusion to my Digital Forge overview from Markforged side of things.
Thanks so much, Kevin. That was a really beneficial breakdown of Markforged and the Digital Forge and the platform. So let's now get into the break it challenges. All right, so here are all the parts, including the ones that we didn't get a chance to get to today. But well, we have the deadlift jack here, the door opener, the ice scraper, the impact plates, and the sheet metal tool. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so challenge 1 is going to be the touchless door opener versus the ice scraper. So you're going to see a poll coming up on your screen here shortly, and if you wouldn't mind going ahead and just clicking on the one that you want to see Brandon break. And it is the door opener. All right, so we're going to send it over to Brandon. Brandon, we're going to do the door opener. All right.
All right, guys, we move things outside so we don't make a mess inside if we break anything. Let's go ahead and grab that first part. So you guys voted for the touchless door opener. You've probably seen a few of these around due to COVID-19. Don't want to touch the door handle. Now this is printed in just onyx. We're gonna see if it can do the job. Feels pretty strong. Oh, that's good. Didn't feel like it bent at all. Let's see if we can get a little bit harder pull on this thing. Don't try this at home, kids. Oh, nice. Snapped it.
I'll hop in here real quick. He actually just used that to open up the door. You know, with COVID and everything, everyone's kind of freaking out about touching door handles right now. So this is a great tool for those of you. It was just printed with onyx material, and but it worked great. He was able to open the door. But just like Brandon, you know, he likes to break stuff, so he locked the door so he could see how much it really took to break that. And it worked. It broke.
Yeah, no doubt. And that was just onyx, right? There was no fiber reinforcement in that one, you said?
That's correct. Yep. And that's correct. Yep. No fiber.
I'd imagine those print pretty quickly, and you can knock out quite a few easily to have people, so we don't have to touch as many doors, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. All right, so now let's step into challenge 2, everybody. Okay, so we're gonna open up the poll again really quickly. Sheet metal tool versus the impact plates. So go ahead and pick one. We'll see what we're gonna break. Okay, results are coming in, collecting responses, and we have the sheet metal tool.
All right, we are back outside for part number 2. So next up, we've got the sheet metal bender. So we set up a little die system here. If you don't have your press brake handy, you could always set something like this up, bend a piece of sheet metal real quick. So we've got 3 different gauges of aluminum here. We're gonna try those out, see how far we can get. So just a few different thicknesses here. 16 thousandths, 32 thousandths, and 64 thousandths. I think 16 is going to be no problem.
Easy.
Looks good. Not exactly perfect, but, and my parts here are just printed in plain onyx, no reinforcement. I grabbed the 32 first. Got it in the wrong order, but no problem for either one of them. 16, 32, and let's go to the last one here, 64. Oh yeah. That one's a little tougher. Need a lot more pressure on this guy. Can we make it? You know what? It's not perfect, but these parts held up just fine. Let's get a closer look at those. Literally no damage on these parts at all. So that's pretty impressive. You saw me putting a fair amount of force on that. If you wanted to make yourself some sheet metal dies for your brake, I'd say go ahead and give it a shot.
But it looks like a great press tool, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of people using those, I think, right? I mean, Kevin, I think you can speak to that, but I think that's a really great use case for the onyx. So hope your fingers are all right.
Definitely a great use case for, well, anything from Markforged. Honestly, we're really hitting the market hard with the tools, fixtures, jigs, things like that. That's really where people are looking for tough materials, industrial strength materials for manufacturing. So yeah.
And it's really great for marring on that, right? Like the parts don't mar and they just like bend and press those parts continuously, and then they can be swapped out really, really easily, obviously, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so our industrial printers can actually get down to 50 microns as well. So the print quality is just incredible for a FFF style 3D printing. And yeah, whether you print that solid onyx or you're going to use some carbon fiber to reinforce that, you can get some real added strength in there. And we've seen this on press brakes, literal press brakes pushing steel and bending steel. So definitely, I loved seeing this application.
Fantastic. All right. So I guess now we will jump to challenge 3. We've got the deadlift jack versus the wrench. So I think the poll will be coming up here very soon. All right. Collecting deadlift jack is the one that we'd like to see. All right, Brandon, take us through this.
Last but not least, you guys chose the deadlift jack. And if you're not familiar with what this is, I designed a deadlift jack here, and we can use this to take a barbell like we've got loaded up here, and we're going to just lift it a little bit off the ground so we can easily put plates on and off here. See how it works. So we're just going to jack the weight up like so. Easy, no problem at all. It's nice and sturdy. Now we printed this thing in onyx and high strength, high temp fiberglass for the reinforcement. Doesn't feel like it's not strong enough. I would say this is plenty good to do the job. In fact, I'll probably want to continue using it at my home gym. So just rock it back and forth. See, it makes that part of the job easy. We don't want to tire ourselves out putting weights on the barbell. We'd rather spend that energy and go ahead and lift it. There we go. So I've been told we've got 360 pounds on this bar here. And just to show you again, moves that weight around just fine. I was even kind of rough with it on the last pull and no problems at all. So like I said, I don't want to break this. I like the design. I'm probably going to still use it at my home gym, but we have to smash something, right? Let's get it done.
That's great. Super slow-mo. Fantastic.
All right.
I guess the moral of the story is that Markforged parts are incredibly strong, right? I mean, that's kind of what we're seeing over and over and over again. Well, I appreciate that, Brandon. That was fantastic. You know, I know it takes a lot of time and effort. Yeah. What I love about it is that you don't have to try and print those, you know, parts 3, 4, 5 times to get them right, you know, and I think that's the key when it comes to the Markforged solution, is that you can get your file into the printer, press print, and don't have to worry about all the, you know, settings and all the little things that take up time, because you know when that thing is done, it's going to come out successful and it's going to print well every single time.
Yeah, and very easy for us to iterate on some of these break it shows, so always fun.
I know, and I'm excited for the next one coming. I mean, it's been, you know, this is always an adventure with live webinars, and we're getting better at it every day. So I appreciate everyone's patience. I hope everyone's had a good laugh here and there, possibly. In closing, I do want to not laugh, but I hope you also really start thinking about how additive manufacturing can replace some of these things and solve some of these problems that you think, oh, you know, I just 3D printers can't do that. They don't have the strength, they don't have the accuracy, they don't have the finish. It's just that's not the case anymore. And Markforged is really leading the pack in industrial parts that you can use on the manufacturing floor. So I just want to give you a quick slide that goes into a little bit in depth of what Hawkridge offers when it comes to solutions. So, you know, from design to data management to simulation and stress testing, right? All the way through prototyping and even production, all right, with additive manufacturing. We carry software, services. Our engineering team is first rate. I mean, it's really a great team, and we can help you achieve your goals. And now, we keep on growing. We keep on joining forces and combining resources, and just always are really there to help our customers. So
Hawkridge Systems, like, design is the name of the game with Hawkridge. Like, they know design inside and out. You go to Hawkridge, they're going to give you DFAM classes. They'll be able to help you design things so that it's going to benefit you with the technology that we have to offer. So please keep that in mind as you're thinking about what you're going to do with the Markforged printed part.
yes, well, thanks for saying that, because that is such a great point. Us at Hawkridge, obviously we were involved with SolidWorks way before we were, in the additive manufacturing space, and we have a team of engineers that have been doing incredible things for a very long time, and they are happy to help you, and in your additive journey. So I just want to say thank you so much again to Kevin and Brandon. If there is anything else, feel free to get in touch with us. Myself, Hawkridge Systems, hawkridgesys.com. And yeah, thank you everyone so much for attending. All right. Have a great day.
Thanks, Tristan. Thanks, Kevin.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
guys,
you,
again.